Alrighty-roo, everybody. Hello, how is it going? And today is the Thursday live showcase where we showcase e-readers live every Thursday. We're a little bit late today because we had some meetings and other things we were going over, but don't worry. Here we are, and away we go. What do we have today? We have the Hanvon Clear, and it is clear to see that this is some sort of a carbon copy of the iReader because I'll show you in a second. All right, so let's get into this. I gotta say, this looks identical to the. Hey, Steven. This looks identical to the iReader Ocean. It feels the same. The lip is the same. They did do a little bit of difference backing, but this is just this cutout plate. The actual device body construction is the exact same. Now, we reached out to Hanvon, and without blowing any whistles and stuff like that, we were like, "Hey, did you make did iReader make this for you?" And they said no. And I kind of believe that because Hanvon's been around since the 90s. They've been around since like 98. And then I said, "Okay, well, did you guys build iReaders?" And they said no. And I'm like, "Did you share blueprints? Because this looks the same, man. It looks exactly the same." And they said no. And we're like, "All right, well, we believe you," because Hanvon has towers downtown in China. They got their own towers. They have Hanwang Technology, which is Hanvon. They have towers downtown, entire towers based off of their name. So I'm like, okay, well, if you say you didn't copy them and they didn't copy you, and all of that's just completely coincidental, then okay, I'll believe you. So anyways, let's check it out. When you go to Book Stack, it goes to the Dang Dang store, and I don't think you can choose stores. No, you can't. You just shop with Dang Dang. So unfortunately, when you have e-readers like this, when you have iFlyTech, when you have what do you call iReader and Hanvon Hisense, typically they deal with things like the JD bookstore, the iReader bookstore. So really, a lot of the times, there's not going to be any way for you to get books. That doesn't mean it doesn't work, because you can simply just sideload in your own books as you see fit. So that's kind of what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to you having to download a bunch of EPUBs, download a bunch of Mobies, and then put them on after the fact, because that's just what it's going to look like. Now, you don't have to worry because everything is in English. So once we get out of here, there we go, you can go to the book rack, in which case this will be your books. So it should show you all the books that you put on here, if I'm not mistaken. I guess it just doesn't. Let's go over to application. Now, this does have Android, and it does have system apps and installed apps. You can sideload in APKs, so that's kind of a good part as well. I don't recommend using the App Store. I don't recommend using the bookstore. They're just not that good. And I believe if you don't like something, you can uninstall it. Yes, so like that for example, does nothing for us. You can just uninstall it, and away it goes. So you don't have to worry about that. For some weird reason, it's not showing any of the actual books, and we put a bunch of books on here. So I guess we're gonna have to go to File Manager instead, which would be we Wi-Fi transfer Notepad. What is Notepad? This is what this all is. It's for learning, guys. Add a new note. Wait, this isn't like a finger drawn note, is it? Oh, okay, so it's literally a notepad, like Microsoft Notepad. Okay. What I'm actually struggling to find is the actual okay, that worked. Okay, we put an MP3 on here because it does have a speaker, and we want to see how it sounds. That's not very loud. It's not a loud sound. It is fairly crisp. It's not very bassy either. We're going to get into all that in the full review, of course, but it does have a dedicated music player if you want. I find it hard to believe there's no file manager on this unit. Am I going to have to download one? Because that's really strange. But either way, we can go to, I believe, should be able to go to some sort of area to look at where everything is. So if I just search books, should be able to type in EPUB and it will find it. And apparently it doesn't. All right. Well, you know what? There's no way to read books on this. Goodbye. No, there is definitely ways to read books on this, but you know, it's not very intuitive. Now, I will say something about their settings. Hanvon loves settings. They have tons of pages and sections and subsections, and it just keeps going and going and going. There's so much here that you have to get a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to this, because there's going to be a lot it's a lot to take on. It is all in your native language if it's Chinese or English. You can't choose any other languages outside of that, by the way, but yeah, there's a lot of settings here, so that's going to be something you're going to have to be concerned with. Now, I am going to actually put Wi-Fi on this right now because, oh yeah, look at this. Got to show you this. You tell me that is not an Onyx UI. That looks exactly like an Onyx UI. Almost pound for pound. Now, you do have a couple modes here as well, and I believe you are able to change the modes when you go into an application, but not the actual not the actual UI. So for example, I have to go into some sort of Wi-Fi, which I will do right now, but I will also show you what it looks like to read on one of these, because you guys always kind of ask what it looks like. Now, it's no elephant in the room that this looks like an Oasis. Now, I must say that if Amazon's not doing it, everyone else might as well, because it's just enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like, Amazon has been teasing their Oases for quite some time, and nothing's been coming out. Let's do this. I have a really weird password for the office here, so it requires multiple. Well, there it is. Got it. Okay. Yeah. This is an Oasis clone, so to speak, because Amazon doesn't seem to be moving in that direction with anything. So, you know, enough time has gone by that it's not like anything official, but like the patent has worn off. You know what I mean? It's like you can't keep saying, "Oh, that looks like an Oasis." It's like, well, the Oasis came out in 2017. The Oasis 2. The Oasis 3, which was just a color change and a warm light, came out in 2019. So you're telling me that after 6 years, everyone's still like, "Oh, we need the Oasis." It's like, do you really? So let's go here, because I'm almost certain there's got to be some sort of file manager. Which is weird how they didn't have it on the unit. There's not going to be a file manager, is there? Is it going to be on their other? Okay, when we're in something like this, I believe we are able to change the speed mode. We're not. Only third-party apps. So we're going to have to go to some sort of application in order to... I can't believe that this thing doesn't even have the ability to read books right off of it. Like, that's a concern. That's something we're figuring out right now, and we don't hide anything here. I mean, that's definitely a concern. Oh, there it is, storage. Ah, that is convoluted. Okay, so you go to book stack, not book rack, and the first one will be a store, and then you go into storage, and then you get your browser. Okay, well, that's a little bit better, I guess. Not by much. Not by much at all. Why is there 3 gigs of documents on this thing? Oh, it's absolutely loaded with books. 165 books. No, 165 pages of books. Does this have Android? Yes, you can. Wonder because of the book's layout. Yeah, Steven, it does, man. This has Android. You can sideload in your own APKs. We have confirmed that. I'm going to go back to the book stack and then get out of here to go to library, because I think I saw my book. There it is. Okay. So it does have a way to get to the reading experience and the storage file manager right out of the gates, and that's why we do these live, so we can all figure it out together. But yeah, this thing is that was not clear. Get it? I didn't plan that. It's called the Clear, and nothing about this unit is clear. Nothing. It's not clear who made it. It's not clear how to get into any of the settings. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta say the display is quite clear. That's irrefutable. It's quite nice. It's very clear. It's very crisp. It's nice and matte. Quite nice. No quarrels or qualms with anything. Now, you might be seeing the device is moving, and that's because it is an asymmetrical design in which all the components in the battery are in the big bulgy part, and it tapers down into a thin part. Very nice, very cool, but it ends up meaning that it doesn't ever sit on a table at all. Yeah, Cisco and Steven, man, like, it's... think they called it clear because of the clear display, obviously, but you know, it moves in North America. We say, "Oh, was that clear to you?" And like legitimately, nothing about this has screamed ease of use. This is a strong learning curve on this unit. I've been in the e-reader industry forever. We started so long ago back in '08 when e-readers were just in their inception. Yeah, it's wobbly. And it took me, what, how long has this been going on? 11 minutes to figure out how to get to a file browser. All right. So once we're in, let's see what we got. We got long press and good. That is in English. Okay. A lot of the times, manufacturers, even like Moan and Xiaomi, they have the ability to have a little bit of a UI in English, and then, you know, you get into an app, and then all this is going to be in Chinese. But that's not the case here. So Hanvon, you know what? You know what it is? You know what it is? It's really hot in here. You know what it is? Oh, someone says, how are those buttons? Yeah, you know what? Let's get back to that really quick before I go into my conspiracy theories. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're very deep. They're very. Oh, that's a strong click. And is it mechanized in the way where you can push either side? It is. That's quite nice. That is a good click. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Steven. It's a very nice click. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a home button. Oh my God, everybody! The middle button is a home button. Amazing. Okay, okay. There's some points. You know, you gotta have pros and cons. Look at that. Oh, it's actually a back button. Okay, that's still cool though. Wow. Okay, I like that. Up, down, and back. That is a back button. I much appreciate that. You know what? Let's go to some pictures. We don't need to show you ebooks anymore. This is a 300 ppi display, so it's going to look good. No, it's not color. We have some color samples here, but it's not color. So anyways, what I was going to say is because Hanvon has no experience in e-readers. Hanvon has made things like the 9701 Smart Office, the Hanvon N10 Mini, Max, Pro, Touch, the NFC luggage cards, where these NFC like luggage tags. Hanvon doesn't have much experience with a regular vanilla Android ebook reader. And that's why I think it lacks refinement, it lacks ease of use, it lacks the lack of a learning curve. If you have to get into something like this and it's difficult to use, it's going to turn you off of the rest of their products. Now, yeah, on the flip side, the devices that they do have, like the N10 Max and the N10 Plus and the 13.3 and stuff like that, those are quite nice, and they're pretty straightforward. The UI is laid out in such a way where he's like, okay, this is my notes, this is my file explorer, these are my apps. This isn't. This is a little bit of a challenge to function. And it's not even a language thing. It's not like everything's translated poorly. That's not what's happening here. It's just that it's so... feels like complete lack of refinement. Nothing was straightforward getting to where I needed to go to. It does have a file manager, but it's deep. It's buried. It's buried in there, guys. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Oh yeah, I'll just press the back button. I wanted to check out a book once more because I want to see if the page turn buttons double as a speed mode in such a way that it goes into A2. Let's see. Something like a Barnes & Noble will actually skip chapters if you press it twice. It does not, it just goes 2 pages. But it did recognize 2 clicks. What if I go 3? It only went... Oh, it did go 3. There you go. Okay, I'm going to go 5. So I'm going to go 7. It should be down to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty responsive. The buttons are quite responsive, I must say. Now, if I long press this... that's too long, even if it was going to do anything. Nope, that's too long. So it doesn't seem to do any kind of fast page blow-throughs like the manga model Amazon that utilized kind of an A2 mode in order to make it quicker. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys a speed mode, and the only way to do that is to get third-party applications, as it says. So I'm going to download PDF Reader Pro really quick here. And once I do so, I should be able to trigger the speed mode, because the speed mode does not work on the system. It works on the actual applications. If you guys hear that hiss, that's like the millions of cicadas or locusts outside hissing. So quiet down, everybody. Yeah. Okay, let's install this once it gets finished. You know, I must say, build-wise, it's nice. Form factor's nice. The buttons are nice. But then, I know you're done. But then, you get into the overall refinement and you're like, yucky. It's not that great, but we'll figure it all out together when we get into the review. We got to give it a fair shot. The live is just for us to chat with you guys, say what's up, and just lock this in as something we covered for a part of our library on YouTube. Okay, what do you want? File access. Can I just say allow all? Allow file access. Sure. Allow the App Store. Okay, and then go back. Oh, I see. I have to allow PDF Reader Pro. Yeah, every step of the way this thing just makes you do something. All right, now we should be able to get into speed mode. We are. There you go, everybody. Normal, accelerate refresh, quick refresh, and fast refresh. Now, you know what I'm wondering is if the web browser that is on here is considered considered third party. Because if it is, then I can just use that and I won't have to download a new web browser. Let's see what I got here. So if I go to... Oh, there is no web browser. Oh, no, there is. System apps. Okay. If I go to the web browser, is this considered third party or is it kind of tied into the system? The Day of the Locusts by Bob Dylan. Yeah. No, for sure. Bob Dylan said it right, I guess. Oh, I can. Good. Okay. We got to see if this is good, guys. We're not giving this a fair shot. No, sorry. We will give this a fair shot. I got to see if YouTube videos play. Oh, look at that. They have a www button in place of a .com button. I've never seen that on any e-reader. Ever. Wow. Okay. Is that the pros of this thing? Is that it has a www button? Okay. Now, I have to go to Goody Reader because everything else is just going to get flagged for copyright purposes. So I'm going to go to our own videos. Yep. And wow, Goody Reader Super Note showed up. We don't even cover those guys anymore. Okay, I'm going to go to the Barnes & Noble video. Now, before I do that, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go to the speed modes, and I'm going to choose... I'll just choose the fastest one. Fast refresh. Okay, let's see. Oh, look at that. There you go. There you go, Hanvon. Now we're rocking and rolling. This is fast now. There you go. See, you guys just need a little kick. All right, here we go. Books unboxing. Oh, do I have a volume control? It's on the drop down here. Let's see. Look at that, everybody. Let's turn that down. There you go. We're playing videos. Look, oh, there you go, little guy. You can do it. There you go. Okay. I was getting scared there for a second because this thing was kind of just trudging along, but there we go. Here we go. I love that. Okay. Video capable, everybody. And it sounds great, actually. Here, let me just turn it up just for a sec.
It is the exact same body construction with the same dimensions, so let us get into it.
And do we have an auto rotate? We do. We do have an auto rotate. You know what? You can't judge a book. You can't judge a book. Legit. This is... Look at this. Watch. I should be able to just drop it now, right? That's great. Honestly, that's not bad. That's not bad. But you know, why it takes a Jurassic Park excavation dig to find out that this thing can do something that still doesn't sit well, you know what I mean? Because when you get it, I'm clocked in at 20 minutes here, and it takes a while to kind of set it up and get it going. Cisco, you are absolutely correct. It's not loud at all. Sounds good, but it's not loud. It's the polar opposite of a Hisense phone. This thing is so quiet, but it does sound decent. Here, listen.
Kind of. Now, unlike the Leaf
microphone
White,
is
this one
right
is
here.
A flush screen and bezel. They don't have the sunken screen and bezel choice anymore. There's nothing.
The sound has some richness to it. It's good. It's good. And I must say, because of the asymmetrical design, I'm happy they put an automatic rotation in there. So it does have a gyroscope on board, which means if you move it, it will change respectively. Now, let's just look at some other speed modes just to... Oh, what's this? Applied bleaching. Does that get rid of a lot of the... Oh my god, look at that! You got image 256 here. Text enhancement. That's image 256 that allows a greater gamut of grayscale, and you can change the icon colors and the background colors. Oh, look at that. And the contrast, so like the weight. Oh, look at that, it cleaned it right up. This is great. I like it. I like this. Honestly, I like this, guys. Yeah. It's wieldy. It's quite nice. way better than the iReader. Nothing wrong with iReader, but iReader is more of just like, hey, we have books, we have a big bookstore, they're all in Chinese, here you go. This is usable. This is actually usable. The thing about iReader is that it's all in Chinese, and you can sideload your books on there, but that's where it ends. You can't put any apps. You can't download Kindle, Barnes& Noble, Kobo. On this thing, you can download the Kobo Rakuten bookstore. You can download the Sony Reader Store. You can download Amazon. You can download Barnes & Noble. You sign in with those, and away you go. You can download Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat without cameras, WhatsApp. You can put anything on here and utilize it as a full Android device, but still have the ability to take a step back and treat it as an e-reader. And I think that's a good balance. It took us hours to figure out Leaf 2 options. You know what, Cisco, you might be right. I think we don't consider Onyx very difficult to use is because we've been using them for 10 years. We know exactly what to expect. We cover all the updates. We know the change logs. So if they're like, hey, Goody Reader, we just gave you an update. It's like, yeah, we know. We know where to go. We know how to do it. Hanvon, this is untreaded territory. We don't really know Hanvon very well. Hanvon, if you guys don't know, if you're scrubbing through or whatever, they're a company that has existed since 1998. They're big time. They're huge. They have tons of devices. They have tons of packaged, ready-to-go products. They've been in the eNote scape for a very long time. They're not small, but they're just getting into these kind of smaller things recently, and more importantly, they're going through us to expand internationally. That's the whole point. So this is all kind of positive criticism by us and you guys to understand what the direction it is that they need to go when dealing with the international crowd. Because you guys are the international crowd. We are the international crowd. We know. We know what to look for. Steven just said, does it have an SD card? No, it doesn't. Let's check out how much storage it has, Stefan. We will go to storage, and it says out of 32, you get 25. And because there's so much crap on here, you only get 20. They load this thing up with books. As I showed you guys earlier, there's 100. Where is it? There's 3 gigs of books. They put 3 gigs of books on here. There's 165 pages of books. I don't really see the point of that. Pocketbook gives you a couple books. But do you need 165 pages? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I can't do that really quick in my head. But 160... Whoa, that's not a calculator. 165 pages times 8 books a pop. 1,320 books. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. No, Steven, it doesn't have an SD. Yeah, pretty limited. Pretty limited. But I must say, I'm happy that it's got a good form factor. I'm happy that it's got physical page-turn buttons. I like the little hidden back button on there. It adds a little bit of character. It definitely does. I like how you can install side-loaded apps. And I like that it's got 4 speed modes and an automatic rotation via gyroscope. And you have cool and warm light. This thing has a lot going for it. It definitely does. Thank you all so much with watching me struggle through an e-reader I've never used before. I've never used a Hanvon UI in my life other than the eNotes. So I appreciate it. We know it's a small turnout. We were busy with some business acquisition stuff this morning, Michael and myself, so we're a little bit late to the party, but we will be back on schedule next week, everybody. Really do appreciate you all stopping by. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Cisco. And thank you to... That's literally it. You guys, that's fine. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the run right now. We were the only company that Barnes & Noble sent their Nook to, which I personally, I'll just take the next couple minutes and vamp to you guys. I personally think that, I thought... Thank you, Steven. Seriously, man. Thank you. Like, seriously. I personally thought that the Barnes & Noble would have done a lot better. So, for example, we put up that... Bye, Cisco. We put up that Ming see-through glass, and everyone's like, oh! And then we did Barnes & Noble breaking unboxing, breaking review, and everyone's like, oh, cool. And And we're just like, you took the thing, and then, yeah. So I really thought the Barnes and Noble would have like, uh, congruent to how big we are, broken the scales, but it didn't at all. The Barnes and Noble seemed to just kind of float under the radar, and as you see it on our channel, we have it in studio, and we're going to be doing a live showcase of it next week. So I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's really nice. It's got audiobooks. It's the first time they've had Bluetooth and 3.5mm headphone jack on it. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was really nice, but man, guess I was wrong. Thanks, guys, so much. I'll see you guys next week. Same time, maybe. We'll see. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.